Alrighty, guys, let's go over this showdown slate for tomorrow. It is absolutely disgusting. I suggest you play light on it. But of course, I'm not going to play light because I'm a degenerate. I'm going to 150 max tomorrow. It's going to be fun. Woohoo! So, if you are from the YouTube side of things and you are watching this, please come over to this subreddit called DF Sports, 1S, so DF Sports. I make a post here every day. I make updates throughout the day with all the news that comes out. You can ask me questions. Great community here. We talk strategy. I answer all you guys' questions. As you can see here, it's absolutely insane. People talking strategy. It's a great place to be. If you're not here, you're missing out. And then if you ever need to get a hold of me, you can message me on Reddit, or you can message me on Twitter at ToryLangley1992. Also, guys, we're eight away, 8 subs away from 1,000. If we can do it, I'll figure something out. But we're gonna give away something. If we can get to 1,000 by tomorrow, we're gonna give away something. I'll figure it out though. I've been doing giveaways in the Discord. Oh, that too. If you are interested in Discord, I will have a link to that below, where I'll have in-depth videos going over each slate, player pools for cash, GPPs, and much more. Cores for cash, GPPs, and much more. I've been doing giveaways in the Discord, a few every month or so. So yeah, it's a great place to be. All right, let's look at my lineup from tonight. So you guys are getting an earlier video tonight because I have to make an NFL video too. Pretty sure I'm going to do an NFL video. And I'm just dead. I'm dead. So you're getting an early video tonight because I'm just dead. I'm stone cold, drawing dead on the main slate. So that's why you're getting an early video. I made a dumb pivot that cost me everything. It's probably still wouldn't have cash regardless, but made a dumb pivot. But we'll see how it turns out. I'm not going to cash. But the core that I had tonight was Josh Giddey, Kyle Anderson, Zach Collins, John Morant. So here's the thing. This was my core originally. Josh Giddey, Trey Mann, Zach Collins, and Kyle Anderson. So all four would have absolutely smashed. So Giddey smashed, Trey Mann smashed, Kyle Anderson smashed, Zach Collins did fine. But then we got that Trey Mann was not going to start, and I didn't want to trust the Oklahoma City Thunder bench, so I moved things around, and I was like, fuck it. Everyone knew that Ja was my favorite spend up on the slate, so I was like, I'm going to play Ja. There's a lot of value. So I made Ja Morant core. That did not work out. He got ejected as well with like 4 minutes to go in the fourth, so that did not help at all either. Then I rounded my lineup out with Jalen Noel, Keldon Johnson, who shot 3 of 500 again. 3 of... I'm pretty sure he shot 5 of 22. Yeah, 5 of 22. Like, bro, please. But let's look back, guys. I show you my lineups every night so you can track how I'm doing, if I'm a winning player or not. But yeah, let's go into this showdown slate. So, really, really disgusting one here. Two teams that just don't play fast. They play good defense. Just so bad here. Let me take a sip of orange juice. It's a disgusting one, boys. Absolutely freaking disgusting. But we have to play it anyway. Let's go over it. Detroit is middle of the road in pace, 16th in pace. Defensive rating, they are middle of the road, I do believe, as well. No, they're bad. 29th defensive rating. So, defensive rating-wise, it is a good spot for the boys here. So, don't fade Luka. I don't have to go over why Luka is the best player on the slate. 14.4K. Just just play him. Play Luka. The only way he fails and is not optimal is a blowout, which he'll still be optimal, probably in a blowout. The only way he fails is foul trouble or injury. That's pretty much the only way. So, if you're playing, I suggest you play Luka. I think he stands out as the best player on the slate. So, absolutely love Luka. Don't think I have to go over it. Christian Wood. So, let's go over the rotation. Guys, I seriously suggest using this, popcornmachine.net. After every game, go ahead, take a look at the rotation. You can learn a lot of things. So obviously Tim Hardaway Jr. started this game. Christian Wood did start I believe, the second half of a different game, and he started another game, but came off the bench this game, stayed coming off the bench this game. So what we saw here, we saw obviously Lucas is going to play massive minutes. We saw Tim Hardaway Jr. play 30-plus minutes. We saw Christian Wood only play 25 minutes. We saw Josh Green get a really big minutes bump to 27 minutes. And we saw Maxi Kleber play 25 minutes. Reggie Bullock basically got scratched out of the rotation. Now, we'll go over in a sec. I'll just go over in a second with you guys. So, yeah, Wood is the ceiling play on the slate. Minutes-wise are going to be all over the place. I think matchup-wise, specifically for Dallas, I think this is a spot where Christian Wood could play a little bit more, because I don't think Detroit is going to run things, through their, through their bigs, right? They could with Bagley and Stewart, that's fine. But Wood's obviously not a defender, so he gets not a good defender, so he gets ran off the court. So I think this could be a spot where Christian Wood does get to play a little bit more. Like if I knew Christian Wood was going to play over 30 minutes tomorrow, at this price tag, he'd probably be in my lineup. So this is what I will say. Christian Wood, I think, is the low four, high ceiling play on the slate. I think he's the risky play on the slate that could win you GPP. I think it's also a play that could just torch your money on fire. So I do like Wood for tournaments, especially if he's going to be low owned. Spencer Dinwiddie at 7.4K lost minutes last game. I don't understand why. Maybe it was because Tim Hardaway Jr. couldn't miss, but normally I think we get around 30 minutes from Spencer Dinwiddie, and at 7.4K, he's just there for me. Like, fine contrarian play. If I land on him as a last man in, I'm completely okay with it, but he'll be the clear number 2 on offense here. He will handle the ball some as well. I don't hate it, just more of a contrarian play for me. This price tag on Tim Hardaway Jr. is just too expensive for me. I don't understand why they made him this price tag, which all in all definitely makes him a good GPP play. So this is what I will say with Tim Hardaway Jr. He's completely overpriced. He will probably kill you more often at this price tag, but if he's hitting his shots like he did yesterday, he has this type of ceiling, and he can 32 fantasy points at this price tag on a showdown slate is definitely really, really good. So also be careful, because they will cut his minutes if he's shooting the ball terribly. We saw it here. So Tim Hardaway Jr., just like Christian Wood, GPP play only, low floor, super high ceiling, guy that can win you a tournament or lose you a tournament. And what we want guys that are going to win his GPP. So well, I think Tim Hardaway Jr. isn't a good play specifically at this price tag. I think he's overpriced. I think he's a good GPP play, because I think he'll be very low owned, and he does have the ceiling. He does have the upside to win you a tournament. So yeah, I think he's a good GPP play at that price tag, assuming the ownership is going to be low on him, which I'm expecting the ownership will be low, assuming he starts. So I played Dorian Finney-Smith at extremely low ownership last slate, just barely. He loses like 10 minutes. I don't understand why, but normally I think we get around 35-ish minutes from Dorian Finney-Smith at 4.8K. Yeah, I think he's a solid value play. He's not going to be a guy that's going to be productive when he's out there. He kind of needs the minutes to pay off his price tag, so it definitely is a little bit concerning that he did only play 29 minutes. But, he's going to do what we need out there. He's a good rebounder, good shooter. That's kind of all we need. He can get you a few assists. 4.8K, we don't need much on a showdown slate. So, yeah, I'm fine with some Dorian Finney-Smith. Be careful here with Maxi Kleber. He has played 25, 24, 29 minutes the last 3 games. I would expect that to continue, but they can close with anyone. I wouldn't go off last game because the Warriors are a smaller team. So, but him playing over 20 minutes for the last 3 games, yeah, I think he'll be a popular value tomorrow. I think it's for good reason. He's probably the best point per minute guy out of all these guys in this area. So if I had to pick one, Dorian Finney-Smith is definitely safest. I think Maxi Kleber definitely has the higher ceiling. So I think Kleber, I think DFS, they're both good value plays. Josh Green, be a little careful here. Did play 27 minutes last game. I don't know if that's going to continue. Let's take a look at what he played in the first half. So Josh Green played a decent amount in the first half too, and he closed. Now, like I said, I don't know if that's going to continue here. He's not the best point per minute guy. Obviously, they can close with anyone. So, if he's going to be popular, I will probably pass. But if he's going to be low owned, I think you can definitely take a shot on him. And that's also going to depend on Kemba Walker news. If Kemba is in, I'll just stay away from Josh Green because I think that definitely hurts him. If Kemba's out, then I think you can definitely take a shot on Josh Green. So just keep an eye on that Kemba news for sure. Reggie Bullock's been losing minutes of late. Just a GPP dart. And then Dwight Powell at 2.2K. Been starting, but he'll only play like 10 to 15 minutes. At this price tag, it's definitely doable, but just a large field dart throw for me. And this is where things get out of control because last game they just completely fucked the rotation. I don't know what they did. We have Jaden Ivey questionable. It's just really insane what they did last game. So let's take a look here. We saw all the starters start. They barely played in the second quarter, and then they start the second half, and then they get pulled, and then some of them play the fourth in a massive freaking blowout. So what is going on here? It's impossible to base things off of this game, and then we can't go to previous samples because a few games ago there weren't guys like, we didn't have Bagley, we didn't have Isaiah Stewart, we didn't have Corey Joseph, I believe. Yeah, I mean, it's just extremely hard. I'm not going to put too much weight into this game. I'm probably just going to chuck it out the window and go off of what I think the rotation will be. So give me 1 sec. All right. Got to keep an eye on the Jaden Ivey news here. So if he is in, that's definitely going to muddy some things. I would prefer him to be out. Obviously, we'll go over it both ways. If he's in, he's probably my favorite player on Detroit. I would expect mid to low 30s minutes, low to mid 30s minutes. 8.4K, I think would seem a little bit too cheap for him on a showdown slate. So, assuming he's not limited and he plays, he's going to be the clear number one on this team, right? Stuffing the stat sheet as well. I'd expect mid 30s minutes, like I said, low to mid 30s minutes, averaging over a fantasy point per minute. 8.4K, I think would be a little bit too cheap on a showdown slate. So, would like Ivy if he plays, and then the rest is just disgusting. Like Bojan has been probably their most consistent player outside of this last game, but he barely played. I think normally minutes wise for him, he's probably going to play over 30 minutes. I think he's fine, but the prices are like, they all seem priced about right to me. Killian Hayes, if Ivy is back, I think that definitely hurts his ceiling. I think I'd prefer to go to like pay up at Ivy at that point, but would still be playable in my opinion. Let's just take a look at the depth chart. So I mean, where's Kojo? Kojo played 22 minutes. Man, it's just gonna muddy the waters, but he'd be playable. The big, so Marvin Bagley started alongside Isaiah Stewart here. He started at the 4, and then you had Beef Stew start at the 5. Yeah, I mean Bagley's normally a good point per minute guy. I think this price tag is priced appropriately, and you always have the risk of Bagley getting into massive foul trouble. And then when he's starting alongside Isaiah Stewart, I prefer his upside at the 5. So I think starting at the 4 definitely kills his upside. So Bagley, just a GPP play for me. Sadiq Bey came off the bench last game. If he comes off the bench again, I like him for GPPs. I don't think he's only going to play 18 minutes, especially if the game stays close. I think he'll play more than that. I think we're going to get 25 to 30 minutes, maybe even more off the bench from Sadiq Bey. I'd be interested in him for tournaments off the bench for GPPs if he does come off the bench. Even if Ivy's in, I'm fine with it. Isaiah Stewart, 6.8K. You know, he deals with foul trouble all the time, him and Bagley. So, minutes-wise for him, I'd probably expect over 25 point per dollar. I might prefer him to Bagley and Sadiq Bey and the others, but they're just all there for me. They're all just fine plays. Like, if you had to ask me to rank them, I can't rank them. I would just say Ivy is number one. Like, that's all I can say to you. I think they're all just there for me. Yeah, it's tough for me, especially if Ivy's in. So I'm gonna have to wait and look at projections to see what people are projecting them at. So yeah, not much stands out to me on Detroit, but we have to play them. It's a showdown slate. Like I said, Alec Burks, if Ivy is back, and then Corey Joseph is also back, I'm probably going to be off of at that price tag. Jalen Duren at 4.2K. Keep an eye on the starting lineup for Detroit. If Bagley starts alongside Stewart, I think Jalen Duren is actually a pretty good value play because I'd be more confident with his minutes here. He's not going to play 27 minutes again. Obviously, the game blew out, but I'd be more confident that he plays like around 20, like 18 to 20 minutes. And with how good of a point per minute guy he is, with how good of a rebounder he is, I definitely would like Duren for value. Kevin Knox, solely going to depend on Ivy. He'll be playable if Ivy's out, but if Ivy's in, I wouldn't really go there at all. And then like Diallo, no. Kojo did play 22 minutes. Let me check what his rotation was. Yeah, I don't think he plays that much if they don't pull the starters here. So, I think if he's going to play around 15 minutes at 2.4K, I definitely think you can consider it. But let's go over if Ivy's out. If Ivy's out, that's going to change some things. I think Killian Hayes would be my favorite play at 7.6K. I actually think it would look pretty good if Ivy's out. I think Bojan would look better as well. So these two guys will probably be my favorite guys if Ivy's out. Bagley, Stewart, no lean. They don't really get boosts in my opinion. And then I would really like Sadiq Bey for GPPs if Ivy's out. If Ivy's out and he comes off the bench, I don't think anyone's going to play Sadiq Bey off the bench. And if Ivy's out, those minutes are going to have to go somewhere. So if Sadiq Bey comes off the bench and nobody is going to play him and he's going to be like 10% owned, I really like Sadiq Bey for GPPs if that is the case with Ivy out. Alec Burks would be in play, but not a smash of 5.8K, just a playable option. Duren would still be a good value play. Knox would be a little bit more in play, and then I think Kojo would be a good value play. I think his minutes would be a little bit secure, a little bit more secure. Not a good value play, but a better dart throw in my opinion. So I hope this helped you guys. It's really disgusting. It's just a lot of darts, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.